All right, everybody. My name is Dr. Frank Kern, attorney at law, chief engineer of NASA, retired, joined today by the leggy supermodel, the lovely and talented, burgeoning pop artist, dance sensation.
I'm still going to stick with Just Brett.
Just Brett. Awesome name. That's his street name. That's his breakdancing name. Anyway, today, or in this video rather, today we're going to get a lot done, but in this particular video, we're going to be showing you how to do the automated webinar campaign. So, we're going to edit this sucker, but rule number one is we don't mess with the originals. We make copies. So here's again how to make a copy. We are just going to click on the campaign itself. And we're going to, this is exhausting, but we have to do it. We're going to click on Make Copy. And it's just called Copy of Frank Kern-AutoWebby. And you know what? It has product name here. I'm going to replace product name with new product, right? You're the only person in the world that sees these names, by the way. I will go ahead and click Save. And while we're waiting, which is going to be at least 17 years, because we have
it's going to give me time to actually become a real dance.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're kind of practicing over there. It's beautiful. I can see it in the reflection on the monitor. While we're waiting, I'll tell you what we're going to do, right? So we basically have three components of an automated webinar campaign. We have your assets, which are going to be your landing pages, your web pages. We have your Infusionsoft stuff, which is this stuff. These are the emails and the timers and all that ninja stuff. And then we have your stealth seminar stuff. That's the webinar itself. So what we're going to do right now in this video is I'm going to show you the assets, and then we're going to get this registration page built, right? So all of it's super easy, no problem. So like you know, we've built all your web pages for you, and we've gone ahead and created everything. We've even integrated it with Infusionsoft for you. Now, whenever we have a web form in Infusionsoft, Megaphone needs to know that it has to integrate with this web form. So the first thing we're going to do is, because we just made a copy of this campaign, you now have two web forms called AutoWebby Register. So before I forget, I'm just going to change the name of this one so it won't be confusing. I'll call it New Product. Otherwise, if we didn't do that, when we went over here to Megaphone, we would see two AutoWebby Register forms, and we wouldn't know which one to choose. It'd be weird. So that was pretty simple. Now let's talk about the assets that we've created for you. If you go over here, excuse me for a minute, let me click on Done. If you go over here to Megaphone, you can see all of the pages we've built. And what you want to do is you want to find the ones that are about AutoWebby. I'll go through them with you real quick. You have your registration page. This is obviously where people register for your webinar. You have your liquidator. That's going to be the thing you sell immediately after they register. If you decide you don't want to sell anything immediately after they register, we also gave you a regular style thank you page. Then, of course, with our webinar funnel, we have something called an indoctrination series that has a video, number one, and it also has a second video. So we built you the pages that display that. Then we have your video sales letter page. That's the video sales letter for the product you're selling on the webinar. You're going to use this during your countdown sequence and post-webinar sequence for the people who saw your offer and didn't buy. We've got an objection handler video page. This is, again, going to be deployed for the people who saw the webinar, saw the offer, but didn't buy. And these are the pages, right? So before we build your registration page, the first thing we got to do is figure out where they're going to go after they register. So you got two choices. They can go to a page that sells them something, or they can go to a regular thank you page. Now we're going to edit these pages later. That's the super easy part. First thing we got to do is do the Infusionsoft stuff. That's also pretty easy. So the choice is yours. Let's say you want to sell them something. Well, that's easy. All we got to do is click on the name of this liquidator page and click on the address of the page here, and I'm just going to hit copy, and now we have that. Now remember, we're going to edit all of this later. We're just building the skeleton, the materials. We're getting all your raw materials built. So now that I have this URL here, I'm going to go back into the campaign, and I'm going to open up this web form. This is the web form where they actually register. Now we'll make this pretty in a minute, don't worry about it. But the first thing we want to do with this form is we want to go over here and we want to tell Infusionsoft where to send people after they register. So we got two choices. We can show up a generic Infusionsoft page, and that's not really that cool looking. You can make it cool if you wanted to do extra work, but we're going to do something simple. We're going to select web address, and then we're simply going to paste that Megaphone web address right over there. And so now that page is done, assuming that all we want to collect from them is their first name and email. If you want to collect their last name, you just drag another field over here to collect last name. I don't think it's necessary, and I think it suppresses your response. So assuming that's done, we'll go over here from draft to ready. And now let's see if this page will show up in Megaphone without our having to publish. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let's check it out. So let's talk about now making this tie in with Megaphone and making that page actually cool looking.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do now, once we go into Megaphone, it's this fun little adventure to see if it shows up correctly. We're going to go back to our pages, which we can do either by clicking My Pages over here or Done, like Frank did before. I'm going to click My Pages.
Well,
because that's how I do it.
Clicking Done is a cool way to do it, by the way. Nobody likes to click My Pages. That's just ew.
So we're going to come back to the AutoWebby registration page. And what we need to do is this spot over here on the left that's red, it catches your attention quite nicely. For form integration, we need to actually connect this page to that form that we've built in Infusionsoft. So we're going to first select the provider. We only have one set up, which is Infusionsoft. And then the next thing it's going to give us is a list of web forms that are inside of our Infusionsoft. So we're going to see if it is pulled over, AutoWebby register new page. And it looks like it, oh wait, hang on, let's scroll down a little bit. All right, so it looks like it has not pushed that over. So what we need to do in this case is go back into Infusionsoft, and now that we've set this web form to ready, we're just going to publish the whole campaign, and that'll make that web form, it'll push it into Megaphone.
So in the event you don't see your web form name in Megaphone, you probably didn't publish it.
Exactly. So we're going to come back here, and I'm going to refresh this page. I'm actually going to jump back out and jump back in just to make sure that that Megaphone has a chance to go and find that. And we're going to come back down again to AutoWebby registration. We're going to go to form integration. We'll select Infusionsoft. And then we're going to go AutoWebby register new product. You can see it shows up nicely right there. So we just select that, and then we click save.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
Pretty fancy. Now, of course, you probably don't want Travis Rosser's picture on your webinar registration page, although I can't imagine why you wouldn't. He is a delightful and lovely man. But he's likely not you, right? So don't worry about all this. We're going to change this later. This is the easy stuff, right? Have no fear. So what we want to do right now, the most important thing out of this is we're going to take this URL right here. This is the URL of your registration page. This page would work right now, by the way. If someone clicked on this, boom, they would be in your funnel. But of course, we still want to make this cool looking. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this URL, we're going to copy it, and then you'll notice that I have created a little worksheet for you. Let me bring it up for you. Okay, so I've created this worksheet for you. Now, there's a lot of stuff on here. We'll get to it in a minute. What I want you to do is right here, you see where it says, what's the URL of your registration page? All you got to do is simply paste that answer right here. Now, it's pasted bold. That's just bothering me. This doesn't really matter, but I'm a little OCD. There we go. Now, why are we doing that? Well, when it comes time, remember I told you there were three components. There's the assets, which is the web pages. There is the Infusionsoft part, and then there's the actual webinar part with Stealth Seminar. Stealth Seminar is going to take this, and they're going to make a copy of this page, but they're going to put it on their servers for you. They do all of this stuff for you, so you don't have to do any work, and they're also going to make it automatically Ninja-like for you, where this date is going to be whatever date your webinar is going to start. So while we're here and thinking about that, we should go ahead and answer this question right here. So how many days from the time they register do you want your webinar to start? Now, the way we've built it is, if you look over here in your AutoWebby Reminder and Indoctrination series, they register on day number 1, and then day number 2, they get the indoctrination video. Day number 3, they get the second indoctrination video. And then day number 4 is the day of webinar. So for me, the way we've built it in this campaign, if you want to have it exactly like our campaign, the answer is going to be, the answer is going to be 4. And the reason we're putting this, I'm just going to debold it again, that's just me being OCD. The reason we're doing this is because when Stealth Seminar takes that page and copies it and makes it all cool and integrates it with Stealth Seminar, again, for you, you're doing nothing here. If they hit this page on Thursday the 19th and it's scheduled to start your webinar on the 4 days from today, this is going to show that the webinar starts on the 23rd. See, pretty cool. If they hit it on the 20th, it's going to say that the webinar starts on the 24th, and so on. So it makes it truly dynamic. Now, since we're already here and we're doing this kind of stuff, there's one more little question that I want you to answer, and that question is, what time of day do you want your webinar to start? So I almost always do mine at 11 a.m. Pacific. Whoops. Good Lord, I can't type. It's because I'm talking at the same time. So now I've answered that. Now, you and I do nothing. This is all of the actual work that we have to do. Once you're done with all of this, we're simply going to give this little worksheet to Stealth Seminar, and they do all the hard stuff, right? So please don't let this throw you off. I've created this worksheet for you to make this blindly easy for both you and Stealth Seminar. All you do is say, here, do this, and they do it. Now, they do charge you the exorbitant fee of $0. So I know that's going to be a challenge for some people who don't want to spend $0, but that is part of the deal. They will reserve the right to charge you a whopping $0. So now what we've done, if we have made your registration page almost, of course we still have to edit the copy, we made it to where after they opt in, they're going to see your liquidator offer, and we have this part of the webinar done. So I'm going to end this video here, and then we will jump to the next section, which is going to be your reminder and indoctrination section. So that's the end of this video, and we'll resume in this next section.